Yeah, like I said, we're just coming here to die off. We got 346 days left, and it's time for my retirement. It's time to
Well, I hope you get a nice retirement package. Maybe it'll be one lump sum check. Maybe you'll get like a,
Oh, I'm getting
you know,
nothing. I'm not getting nothing. I'm just gonna. My internet bill will be a couple of $100 cheaper. That's for sure.
yeah, I
That's
get
about
it.
it. So, if you don't mind, I talked to you a couple, not this last, but the conversation before. You were really stoked, excited about some of those videos I was making back in 2018. Some of those clips you were watching.
Yeah. Those little shorts you sent me there. I was like, man, he is on the ball. Everything that was said there happened. Like, how does this happen?
It
you know?
happens. It happens.
Yeah,
The I was on pulling the trigger on the pandemic for a long time. That was
yeah.
one of my things for years. And if they don't raise interest rates to hedge against inflation, what did I say in the video?
Mike, I'm going to be 53 this year, and I have been working since I was 11 years old. I don't have a college education, and I did every job that you could do. I scallop fished in the East Coast. I landscaped. I was a tire tech. I drove truck. I worked oil fields. I tried construction, and I never made enough money. I didn't have enough credit. I didn't have enough anything. I could never nail down buying down a house. The best I could have done, I bought a brand new vehicle and a 2 year old vehicle and another. Oh, I did. I bought two more new vehicles, traded them in, and all I could ever afford was to live, make my vehicle payments, keep me mobile. Because I've been a trucker for 21 years, I have to turn the key and go to my truck in any and all types of weather. We work in the shit, rain, and the shine. So I couldn't buy a house and have a junky vehicle to get around. So all as and I'm sure there's lots of Canadians like myself. You either because I remember in 2007 those words from the American in California. He said in California you either live in a house, like you want a house, or you want a vehicle. In 2007, and my whole life has been like that. I've never owned a house, but I quit driving junky vehicles in 2003. I bought a it was two or pardon me 2005. I wanted a brand new pickup in 2005 when I worked the oil field, and the lenders wouldn't give me the money. My credit wasn't strong enough, and they gave me a 2003 pickup with 90,000 k on it, and and from 2005 till till I went bankrupt in 2018, I always had a new vehicle, but I never had a house. I could feed myself, clothe myself, get myself my diabetes medication. Uh, I could never afford a house, barely rent. And when I rented, it was like $500 house, which was run down in Alberta, and it was a crappy little apartment in Halifax and in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia, and it was a homestead house in Nova Scotia, down near Digby County. Where uh, buddy, I never I never bought a house. I could never buy a house. There's lots of us like that. And those words from 2007, when that California man told me, in California, you either have a house or you have a vehicle. That's how expensive it is to live in Canada, in US, and probably the Commonwealth.
Well, no,
The
the
people-
U.S.
the
No, the
people aren't
U.S.
making-
No. If you were in 2007 in the U.S. and you're a truck driver or whatever you were doing, you would have bought a house right away. You would have settled for something for 70 grand. You would have been fine in the U.S. Canada was just too expensive. Did you see the video I made how Justin Trudeau inherited the housing crisis?
Yes.
Before
But
Justin
if you
Trudeau
go back
took over, the housing was already expensive. It was already beyond reach. It was already 9 times the annual income.
If you go back to 2007, 2008 in California, you'll see the headlines where the houses with swimming pools were empty. People were walking away from their homes because they couldn't afford them.
Yeah.
The swimming pools were full of mosquitoes. We haven't been good for a long time. The peasants, have been getting fucked over for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody can afford a college education to be a scuba dive, a underwater scientist, or a spy in another country, or a public sector worker.
Yeah, a lot of people, but public sector in Canada is a little bit different. If you want to come to Canada to learn English, the government will give you a job making six-figure income a year, right? But they keep advertising, oh, Canadians don't want those jobs. Yeah, Canadians really want to work. Canadians want to be productive. Yeah, Canadians want those jobs. I'm sick and tired of hearing that. Oh, Canadians don't want to work in the government or work for this or work for that. Yeah, they do.
Tell me this. How come a school teacher, my son's ex-woman there, my grandson's mother, she's a school teacher. She from 21 years old, has to wait years to become a full-fledged teacher. When my neighbor across the street, her son has worked for the Department of Works in Pickering, Ontario, had to work part-time for years to be a full public sector worker, a full-time.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get those jobs. You have to do the time to get those jobs.
Well, I know quite a few people that are getting into a lot of these six-figure income jobs, and they barely know anything about Canada, right? So I've seen that, right?
Oh, pick up the phone and call the government. You won't understand what they're saying because you can't understand the language barrier in the DMV or the Social Security or the passports or you can't understand the people.
No.
Their English is no good.
And how was the trucking industry? Are you doing okay, or what's going on with that?
Well, I just got word yesterday that the product that we specifically haul, because we're dedicated to a certain product, it's been like 2023. It's been dead. I've been making two drops in North Carolina for all of 23, which was normally 4 drops the year before. So two of the manufacturers basically shut down. Like the economy, like we're not demanding. It's slow. But yesterday I got the word that 2024 by mid, I don't know, I think she said July, August, we're expected to go back to having more operation. No, isn't that funny how isn't that getting closer to the election?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Trucking industry, transportation industry is up and down. It always has been for years and years. It follows the elections. It follows production. It follows gatekeepers with red tape and building. I'm sure when they shipped the Portuguese back to Portugal or wherever they shipped them, the construction went down.
It did. It was 2007 and 2008. They mass deportation of Portuguese families from Ontario and the Greater Toronto area in Ontario. from Oakville, Mississauga, Hamilton. They were going everywhere and picking them up and then deporting our people. Like, I'm a Portuguese, right? So deporting us back, just waiting outside of malls, holding the kids back. And now, remember Fat Face Ford in your province said, we're going to bring in 100,000 Portuguese and they're going to build the infrastructure? Remember? Remember?
Ow! Ow! Yeah, I remember. They said, fuck you.
Yeah,
Fuck
and
you,
no
Fat
Portuguese
Face
came to that
Ford,
program.
Boss hog. Boss hog, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're not doing that to us again. We know what you are.
Yep. See, they know, Canada knows it needs the European expansion to continue maintaining the infrastructure.
Absolutely. And the U.S. Absolutely. Absolutely. Take a look around. Take a good look around at the countryside. You know all that. You haven't been to Ontario for a while. Do you remember like Orangeville?
Yep.
And
Thornhill, Orangeville, Richmond Hill.
Highway 21, Highway 8, like all of that's, you want to know something, Mike? All that farmland is fucking gone, just about.
Mm-hmm.
It's all warehousing.
Wow.
Big warehousing.
I remember
Costco's in there and everybody.
I remember Richmond Hill used to be predominantly Italian.
Yes, remember all the groups? Yeah. There was the Irish, the Italians, the Greeks,
that's all gone now. We were all kind of scattered to the wind and deported and had to move up north or leave. And yeah.
But I remember being 16 years old, and that would have been what, 87, 86, 87, and I had a construction job. I went with I don't know what breed he was. A guy hired me, and I did some gyprock in a subdivision they were building in Ajax, Ontario, and it was all farm fields that they turned into subdivision. But everybody around was Italian or European expansion, you know. Like it wasn't just regular Joes. Mm-hmm. You know, you'd be going into a house, Jepra, and you know, and the Italians would be down there having their lunch, drinking their wine, you know, in the basement or somewhere cool, you know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was back in the 80s.
That's when Canada used to be really good.
Oh, buddy, we had fun.
It was so good, and Canada used to be so good, man. Here on the West Coast, they got
corn boils.
Yeah. The reason why the West Coast didn't build up as big as the East Coast did, it was because the European expansion, right? In the East Coast was huge, right? Like if you go to places like Kitimat, BC, that was predominantly built by Portuguese. That town, if you go back to one of the high schools back in the 1980s and flip through the yearbook, 90% of all the students in the school were Portuguese. It was a Portuguese program of Kitimat, BC, where they pretty much built the whole city, the docks, the export, everything. They set everything up there, and then now
sewer systems, everything, water, power, everything.
Yeah, and now it's very hard to find a Portuguese there anymore, because they got us, they used us, and then now they don't need us anymore, right? So
the Germans were in there too, building. I remember I had friends that were German.
The Germans, like the Dutch built my town. It was Dutch expansion that built this town. It was Dutch, and I think German, like you said, we're here. Building this part where this region I'm in was built by them, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know buddy, did you watch that video? I've seen a couple videos posted here in the last. You must have had a storm out there in Vancouver Island, in the interior, where it's always like, you know, beautiful weather, rain, a little bit of rain, water they have, but. You must have got hit with snow there, because it is all over the internet. Keep getting these posts.
Hopefully
sliding around. Their infrastructure, they got no snowplow infrastructure. They can't drive. They're crashing into stuff. It's bad.
Well, I think Vancouver has spent 4 years of its snow removal budget, so they're behind. So it's become a major unfunded liability in Vancouver. So they don't have any budget for snow removal there, right? So because they spent it on sending it to Ukraine or Pakistan or, you know, more important things, right? So now people, but hopefully, you know what I hope? I hope Joe Rogan's going to be out there on the streets, stopping cars that are having troubles climbing a hill. I hope Joe Rogan can go out there and say, hey guys, I'm going to help you. You should have got winter tires. Have a great day, and walk away. It's like, thank you so much, Joe Rogan, for telling us what we knew already.
Yeah. Oh, but do it 7 years later.
7 years, 7 year gap with a lot of these influencers that are making bang, misleading a lot of people.
Yeah.
Controlled information distribution.
Yeah, CID. You know, it's gonna. I had a vision that when you go off the air, where are all these other platforms gonna? How are they gonna send us information now? What is gonna happen next? We are gonna be so bullshit and lied to.
I try to be as honest as possible. I have no agendas. No one's funding me anything. I just showed you guys my $400 internet bill there, and it's not easy for me. It's really hard. It's really hard on me. So
you know since you quit putting those little memes, those little posts on YouTube, you know, those little pictures and little cartoony things.
I still put them. I'm just shadow banned. I still put them. They're up.
Oh, you do? Okay,
you don't see them. You don't see them because I'm severely shadow banned again, and they're looking at a channel termination because other content creators want to make videos about stuff I already discussed 10 years ago, but it doesn't look good on them if they just steal my video, so they want to get rid of me.
Yeah.
So then they make a video and they're like, oh my god, look at this guy, thank god he's here.
Yeah.
So
they've replaced, so right now there's, I didn't catch the name of it. It doesn't even interest me to learn the name. But there's somebody else on there. It's the same. When I look at the name, it's the same name. I don't read it, and I can't tell you the name. But it's the same bullshit about the presidents in the U.S. It's all these cartoon bullshit, making fun of Joe Biden, and then Trump. Vote for Trump. Trump's coming back. Blah blah blah. Trump's our hero. So I mean, but he goes off on some of this other shit too, and that's what we're left with. When Mike Martins isn't there, we're left with this fucking tool bag. We know Joe Biden's a fucking diaper.
Yeah, but we need to know this 7 years later. It doesn't matter now, right?
Everybody knows Joe Biden's a diaper. Fuck.
But that's what's going to happen, Junkyard Dog. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. All right, buddy. Any final words?
Take chains with you, some supply. have a little supplies with you in your vehicle if you're traveling, man. Because past few days has been shit. You don't know if you're going off the road. I don't even want to drive at night. And then you got these cowboys that are in cars and their Dodge pickups and these and they're just balls to the wall. And then you see them down the road, they're in the fucking ditch.
All right, Junkyard Dog. God bless you.
Buddy.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks, okay, bud?
All right, buddy. Keep it real.
God bless you.
Hammer down.
All right, that is Junkyard Dog. Doing his thing, and really interesting guy who's been reporting for us across the eastern United States and Canada, and driving down to Kentucky and different parts, and North Carolina and Texas, and keeping us updated here on the channel on what's going down. I appreciate that. Junkyard Dog on Mike in the Night.